Fellow EDC enthusiasts, I'm Diener. Welcome to the channel, Genetic Modified Viking. Today we're going to be doing a review and some discussion about my favorite designer, Ramon Chaves. The Chaves design is iconic. It is distinctive. It's classy. It's sleek. It's badass. You can take the layout without even looking at the details, just the outside layout of the knife, the Chaves design, and you know right away what it is. You know, very similar to the Hinder or the Reeves or the Laconico. You know it's a Chaves. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'm going to cover one of my favorite designs, and that is the Chaves Redencion 229. Here it is. This one here is a relatively recent release. This is the black G10 version. This is the Tanto. You have a compound grind with the hollow grind on the body of the blade, and the tip is a flat grind. Absolutely stunning blade. This, in my opinion, is one of the best looking blades ever made. You have this milled in swedge up here at the top, the jimping here. Absolutely stunning blade when you consider all the angles and the reflective surfaces. Now, this is a newer release. The newer release has the skull clip, which provides you an option to either have the skull clip or a standard clip. Very similar in shape. However, it doesn't resemble a skull at all. So at any rate, I think they could have done things a little bit better, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But this is the Ramon Chaves 229 Redencion. Now, I'm going to read off the website here in terms of the specifications. Overall length, 8.22, so all 8.25 inches long. Blade length is 3.63. Blade thickness, 0.16 inches. And to convert that, 4.3 millimeters. Now, for me, I like to think of the blade thickness in terms of millimeters. I don't know why. It just seems to quantify it mentally, get a mental picture of it a lot better. When in terms of the blade length, the handle length, overall length, I like to go in inches. But at any rate, 0.16 inches or 4.3 millimeters. This is the Tano, as I previously mentioned. The handle length is 4.59 inches. It is solid bars of titanium on the lock side. There is absolutely no milling. I mean, this is a beefy, hefty, well-built boy. I'm going to try and I'll get in here and see if I can capture the image here of the. You can see. There you go. Absolutely no relief milling whatsoever on that knife. This is the G10 version. The Chaves, the 229, has one means of deployment, and that is thumb stud deployment. I like thumb stud deployment knives. Thumb stud or flipper, one way or the other, but I like the thumb stud, and I'll tell you why. It keeps the knife to its absolutely bare, essential design. There's nothing protruding. There's no unnecessary intrusion of the aesthetics. It is absolutely the perfect knife. Look how sleek that is. Now imagine a flipper down here, right? It would take away from the design. Now I do have some Chaves flipper designs. However, my favorite is just the thumb stud design. Look at that. That is just absolutely incredible. Look at the sharpening choil. Absolutely perfect. There's plenty of life on that sharpening choil. Well designed. One of the things that gets overlooked, it seems, in the age of modern folders is the sharpening choil. They seem to forget. The designers they go for the aesthetics and the aesthetics only, and they seem to forget how important that sharpening choil is on user knives. So at any rate, this is the G10 version. This is the Tano. I'm going to set him down right there. Now for comparison, there's only one comparison, and that is the Ramon Chaves 229 drop point. I love Chaves. All right. Here's the drop point. This is the red Cerakoted version. There was a limited edition of those, and I think it really kind of looks nice in comparison with the black G10. And so at any rate, I just wanted to pull them out. Now you can see the difference in the blades. It's subtle. It's not dramatic. The thickness of that milled-in swedge at the top, the grind, the height of the grind is identical. It's just the tail end, the tip of the blade, that varies. And it's subtle, but it is dramatic in terms of the overall looks of the knife. I'm going to come over here and just kind of tip these up so you can, so the light kind of does it. There you go. Does it a little bit of justice there. That helps you out a little bit better. Absolutely beautiful knife. Now, aesthetically, this is my favorite knife of all time. There are other Chaves, however, that are fit better in the hand. Now, let's talk about ergos. It is ergonomic, very ergonomic. I have extra large hands, and my hand pretty much swallows that thing up. Just a little bit here. You can slightly feel the pocket clip, but that's because of the skull. But it is kind of rounded off because you do have the rounded edges of the skull clip, so it's not so pokey. If you were going to really bear down for any length of time, it might get a little bit sore on the hands. But overall, this is a great design ergonomically. So I'm just going to leave that right there. I'm going to put that there. Now, the knife that I have, I don't carry these. As I mentioned in previous videos, I'm a collector. I like to collect, but I do have a Chaves user. This is my user. This is the 229 Street. And that's this guy right here. Again, it's just the thumb stud deployment. This is the drop point. Compound grind, hollow, and flat grind on the tip. That milled-in swedge. Identical design in terms of the overall shape and feel. What they did is they just scaled it down a little bit. And I'll show that to you so you have a better idea. You can see the thickness of the handle is different. It's more narrow on the Street. It's apparent even on the end of the knife here. And then the overall length. Now I'm going to line these up. That's completely lined up on the back of the handle there. So you can kind of see in comparison. You're looking at about 3/4 of an inch difference in overall length. My guess is, and I haven't done this, that the handle length and the blade length is going to be split right up the middle. 3/8 of an inch, or a little bit over 3/8 of an inch on both ends. So, in fact, we'll just kind of move it to the pivot. As you can see, the blade length and the handle length are nearly identical. So the difference in the length is split up between the handle and the blade. So that is the Chaves Redencion 229. Now, I'll just bring up a couple comparisons here for you. Some classic comparisons. Here is the Model 1 Rat. It's a big boy. It's a little bit smaller than the Rat. In fact, I'm just going to put this up here. There you go. Get rid of some of that reflection. There you go. It's a little bit smaller than the Rat. Let's look at that with the PM3. There it is to the PM3. Quite a bit bigger than the PM3. As expected. And then we're going to get rid of the Rat. And we're going to put in the Elementum. This is the Wii version of the Elementum, not the Civivi version. This is the titanium frame. So there you go. That gives you a good comparison in terms of overall size. Everybody's familiar with the Elementum and the PM3. Here I got a PM2 here for the Spyderco enthusiasts. There we go. Let me get rid of some of that reflection. There you go. So it's very, very close in handles. It's a little, the handle length is shorter on the Chaves than it is on the PM2, and then the blade is longer. So, which means the blade to handle ratio is going to be better on the Chaves 229 Redencion than it is on the Paramilitary 2. The Paramilitary 2 is not a good blade to handle ratio. It runs typically some of the worst. However, great knife, and I'll be doing a review on those in the near future. So there you go. There you have it. The Chaves Redencion 229, iconic, awesome, badassery. If you don't like the Chaves 229 Redencion, I challenge you to get one. Get one. You can sell it on the secondary. Usually you have no problem selling it for what you paid for it. I do think that Chaves is releasing them a little bit too fast. The market's getting a little bit flooded. You have to regulate that when you're a maker. Keep the demand up. And so at any rate, I recommend getting one. Get one in your hands. Check it out. As far as the clip, now here's the old school clip. And I'm just going to show that to you. That's the new design. The one that is interchangeable. Here's the old clip. Now, I ask you guys, why? Ramon, why go to this? If you're going to do this, at least make it in an internal screw mount so that you keep the beauty of that clip. That is so clean, so wonderfully done. For the people that don't like the skull clip, instead of this right here with an interchangeable clip, worse yet, with screws on the inside, why not do a market analysis of the people, percentage-wise, of the people that don't like the skull clip, and then simply produce both versions, a standard clip version and a version with the skull clip. Market them completely separately. Why? Why disrupt everything that you've done and offer a switchable alternative? This, I have no problems carrying that blade. It's distinctive. As soon as you look at it in your pocket, Ramon Chaves, you know it's a Ramon Chaves. So that's my input as it relates to that clip. Let me know what you think. Should Ramon have not listened to the naysayers and buckled under pressure? I think there was a better way. And a better way, there's my street, a better way would have been to produce two separate knives, market them separately. The people that don't like the skull clip, they can buy the one that is the plain Jane version, if you will. So anyway, there it is, the Ramon Chaves 229 Redencion, my favorite knife of all time. Not, however, my favorite ergonomic Ramon Chaves, and I'll cover that in another video. In the meantime, like and subscribe, share the video. This is Diener, signing out.